Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Cider Drinker. On today's episode, I'm going back to the Bristol Cider Shop mixed box that I got to try out another one for you guys. And, well, I haven't actually got that many left from it, so I've been leaving this one for a little bit because it looks really, really good. I've never actually heard of the company before, but I've hopefully got good things for them. And that is the McCrindle's 2010 Vintage Cider. As you know me, I love a bit of older vintage cider, so I'm looking forward to doing this one. The McCrindle's website actually does have a fair few other ciders as well, like they do just like a normal medium dry, not just a vintage one. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to trying some more of those, but it is the vintage 2010 cider I'm trying today, so how will it be? We'll find out soon, but until then, let me give you some details on McCrindle's 2010 Vintage Cider. McCrindle's Vintage Cider comes in 500ml bottles, which is the only way you can get it too. Now the alcohol percentage is 6.2% in volume, which is actually quite weak for a vintage cider. It says it's a medium dry cider on the front of the bottle, and the price is around about £2.70 a bottle. At the time of this recording, the McCrindle's website is actually down, but you can still get it on the Bristol Cider Shop website, and it is £2.70 there, so check them out. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel the McCrindle's labelling for their ciders just oozes class and sophistication without being too pompous about it. Admittedly, you know, the label is quite plain in its appearance, but it gets its job done without being overly, you know, without overselling the cider. So I like that when cider labels do that, you know, just ooze a little bit of sophistication, which I like. So, on the front of the bottle it says Vintage 2010 Cider, a crisp, medium dry, lightly carbonated cider. Now, the reason I'm looking forward to trying this one is because it is a small batch cider. It even has the batch number, which this is LO718, and it also has James McCrindle's signature there on the bottom as well. So that's, I love it when bottles do that. You know, they have their own unique character to them. Like the Newton's in-bottle fermented cider had its own little batch number, so I tend to kind of keep these ciders because it's kind of like a memory of when I had it. But anyway, on this side it says suitable for vegetarians, vegans and celiacs, and it also contains sulfites to preserve freshness. And on this side we've got a little bit of bump. A vintage cider made using traditional methods in the heart of the Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. Cider apples from a single year's harvest, in italics, have been pressed and matured to perfection. Best served chilled. And it gives you the address of McCrindle's cider there as well. So, all in all, it didn't actually tell me that much about the cider, so I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that's to go and get this old bottle open. There we go. Yeah, nice light carbonation there, so let's go and get a whiff in the bottle. And yeah, just as I was expecting from, because it's a vintage cider, I was expecting really dry, really robust notes coming off of it, and this is what you're getting here. Not as much hint of tannins as some of the other vintage ciders I've had. And actually, because it is a medium dry one, it has that touch of sweetness to it. You know, it's not as sharp and astringent on the nose as with some of the other vintage ciders that I've had. But overall, it does smell really, really pleasant. So, let's go and pour this in. From the looks of it, there isn't any natural sediment in this one, so no need to be careful with pouring. But as you know, I do like to, I do like to take my time pouring these ciders out. There we go. Lovely. Alright then, let's have a look at McCrindle's cider in the glass. Oh, well, hopefully you can see this colour like I am, but it's a real nice dark colour, almost, I'd say it's like an amber sort of colour from the looks of it. Nice old light carbonation too, and overall, that does look like a really nice cider. So let's go and get a whiff in the glass. Yeah, again, you're getting, you know, obviously you're getting the really robust dry notes coming off of it, but there is almost like a light fruity note to it too. I'm getting almost a sort of a berry, which is a bit strange. Yeah, it's kind of like a sort of a blackberry or a blueberry, something like that. like a dark fruit sort of note on the nose, which is kind of surprising. I've not really smelt that from a vintage cider before, but it just has a nice little touch to this. So, how will it taste? That's more important. There's only one way to find out, and that's to dive in. Cheers, guys, and here's to McCrindle's Vintage Cider. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is nice. Wow, you're instantly hit with flavours as soon as you put your lips up to the cider. Just this real flavour of like the oak, or like real dry tannins that have gone into this cider. And then it continues on into the aftertaste. And yeah, there's that slight bacony aftertaste again. It seems to be the same with most vintage ciders. You get a slight bacony aftertaste, at least I do as well. Let's get a second opinion. It's really smooth, really full-bodied, nice, robust apple tastes as well. And yet, because of the smoothness of it, it does kind of subdue the flavours a little bit, and they're definitely nowhere near as strong and prevalent with most of the other vintage ciders that I've had. It's definitely a more mellowed out sort of flavouring here, but you still get the real, as I said, the real hits of the tannins and the dryness of the apples from this. So overall, if you like your more mellow ciders, but you want to try a vintage one, this one, the McCrindle's Vintage, might actually be right up your alley. Let me go and get another taste. And the real good thing is, like most of these other real ciders that I've had, is the taste just lingers about so much. You can just really enjoy these flavours. They don't instantly go away, and it's really refreshed my mouth as well. This is a very refreshing tasting cider, even though you can't get a refreshing taste like most other industrial ciders do. But yeah, just leaves your mouth feeling really quenched from your thirst. And this is definitely one, as you say, like in a nice hot summer's day, I can easily see me sitting out in the garden drinking this very easily. One slight negative I will say about it though is because it is a lower strength, it's kind of surprising that it is, because most vintage ciders are 7% or above in ABV, but because this is a lower strength, like I say, you're not getting as much of a flavour coming off as most of the others. It's not as strong, shall I say. Overall though, as I say, because it is a weaker taste, you can enjoy it a little bit more if you don't like your really hard-hitting ciders. Let's get another one. I think the carbonation helps the flavouring as well. It kind of gives a little bit of a twang to the initial taste as well. That berry note that I smelt on the glass, it's kind of dissipated here and become a more like sort of a traditional sort of vintage cider taste. So nice notes on the nose though, so a nice old plus for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've got to say about this cider, but I will get a final taste before the final verdict. Yeah, overall, I would say this is a very good starter to the vintage ciders. If you've never had a vintage cider before, most of the other ones might turn you away because they are really strong and hard-hitting. Whereas this one, because the flavours are all smoothed out, you still get the taste of a vintage cider from this, but at a lower strength and a much smoother, mellow taste. So, as I say, a really good starter cider to have if you're wanting to venture into the vintage ciders, and it'll make you expand more into, like, say, the Henry Westons and the Thatchers. But anyway, for a final verdict, McCrindle's Vintage 2010 gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Not as impressive as some of the other vintage ciders I've had, but You know, by no means it's not a terrible cider. It's really not. I would say give McCrindle's a go, definitely, because I'm really enjoying this cider, and I'm sure you will as well. I'm going to get a sneaky one. Just so refreshing and easy to drink. Just, really, really gorgeous cider we have here. So yeah, well done McCrindle's, and I look forward to trying some more of your cider soon. Anyway, that was another episode of The Cider Drinker for you guys. Hope you liked it, and I will be back with another delicious and tasty cider very soon. But until then, well, I'm glad I saved this till pretty much near the end of the Bristol Cider Shop box, because it's a nice one, I'm telling you that. And I'm going to go and enjoy it. So, take care guys, until next time.